Hello students, let us start to learn the course Microprocessor Basic Programming. First of all, let us understand what is microprocessor. You might have learned about or you might have heard about the word microprocessor. It plays very significant role in everyday functioning of today's industrial societies. So in this course, what we will do, we will learn the programming which is related to microprocessor. So in this slide, you can see the kit of the microprocessor 8085, and we have to program this kit using assembly language. Okay, so let us start. The content which is involved, the basic content which is involved in this course is first introduction to microprocessor, where you will learn about a concept of microprocessor 8085. After that, we will talk about hardware, and in the hardware part, we will learn about the architecture of microprocessor 8085. Then software part, in that part, we will learn about the instruction set, and after that, we will start to learn how to write program, how to load the program, and how to execute the program finally. Okay, so let us start. First of all, let us understand what is microprocessor. So in a simple way, we can say like that microprocessor is a programmable device. Why is it called as a programmable? Because we can program this device, right? It means we can instruct the microprocessor, right? And microprocessor works depending upon that instruction. Suppose we want to perform certain tasks within the capability of the microprocessor, then we have to instruct the microprocessor, right? So simply we can program the microprocessor. Then microprocessor is a multi-purpose device. That means not a single task, but we can program the microprocessor for different purpose. For example, in today's life, microprocessor is widely used in different application. For example, home appliance, refrigeration process is there, cooking process is there, washing, right? In mobile accessories, remote controls, different consumer products, in automotive electronics. This list is very long. Clock driven. Why microprocessor is called as a clock driven? Because every operation that is happening to within the microprocessor, which is synchronous with the clock. Okay, so this part we will learn in detail. Clock driven. And lastly, microprocessor is a register based device. Okay, so there is a storage device, storage component in the microprocessor, which we call as a memory, and this memory is register based. Okay, that is why microprocessor is called as a register based device. Okay, so what is microprocessor? Microprocessor is a simply electronic device which is programmable, multi-purpose, clock driven, and register based. Okay. Then let us understand the word microprocessor in detail. Let us extract the literal meaning of the word micro. Okay, so what is micro? Micro is a new addition. New addition means it is a kind of new technology. When we talk about in the late of 1960s, in the 1960s, processors were built using discrete element. That means there are several elements, and we have to connect that several element discretely, and we can form the microprocessor. These devices perform the required operation, obviously, but were too large and too slow. Okay, so actually components are very bulky components, and operation which is happening with that component is very slow. Okay, so in when we talk about in 1970s, there is a new revolution takes place in the technology, so, which we call as a semiconductor technology, and using that technology, the microchip was invented in 1970s, and all of the component that made up the microprocessor were now placed on a single piece of electron. The size became several thousand times smaller, and speed become a several hundred times faster. Okay, so the word microprocessor was born at that time. Okay, so it is totally related to the advancement of the technology. So in different way, how can we state or how can we define microprocessor? The word comes from the combination, obviously, combination of two words, micro and processor. Processor means it is a device that process whatever, right? In this context, processor means a device that process numbers, anything, right? Specifically binary numbers, ones and zeros. You might have familiar with the binary numbers 0 and 1. These two numbers are called as a binary number. Okay, to process means to manipulate. So what kind of process? It is a kind of manipulation, right? So it is a general term that describes all manipulation. Again, in this content, it means to perform a certain operation on numbers that depends upon the microprocessor design. Okay, so in this way, we can understand how the microprocessor is working. In another way, we can define microprocessor as the microprocessor is a programmable device, right? This part we have learned. We can reprogram also the microprocessor. Suppose we want to change the task. Suppose we have designed the microprocessor task like addition of two numbers. Okay, and after that we have to give the another task, that means multiply two number. Okay, so accordingly we can program. So that is why it is called as a programmable. That takes in the number, right? Performs on arithmetic and logical operations. Some operations are there. You might have familiar with the arithmetic operations, right? And logical operations are there, right? According to the program stored in the memory. Right? So program is stored in the memory and then produces after a number as a result. Okay, so actually microprocessor works on the number, right? Basically 0 and 1s. Okay, so a result is given in the form of number at here. And to understand the microprocessor operation, here we can make analogy between microprocessor operations and function of human brain. As I said you, how microprocessor works, you can say like that: microprocessor is used to perform certain tasks. Okay, so to perform that certain task, what microprocessor does? Microprocessor receives some information. Okay, receive from what? Receive from input. Okay, microprocessor receives information from input. Okay, and it process on that information according to instruction which is stored in the memory. Okay, and after processing, what will happen? Result is formed. Okay, and that result is sent to the output devices. Okay, so in this way shortly microprocessor works. Okay, so we can make analogy to understand the microprocessor working by comparing this working with the function of the human brain. Okay, so let us consider that human brain is nothing but the microprocessor. Okay, it is a microprocessor of our human body. Okay, so what it does? Brain, actually we know that brain contains a memory. Okay, it stores some information. Okay, so human brain receives the information. It receives the information from sensory organ that we know. Okay, by seeing some object, by listening something, by making text, right? By touching something or smelling something. Okay, so these are the input devices. Brain receives the information from these organs, not devices, organ. Okay, so some information is stored in human brain, right? So accordingly that process which is happening and output as a result of the output. Okay, so output is expressed through some organs. Okay, like hand, feet, legs. Okay, so for example, suppose you have touched some hot plate. Okay, so we receive the information the plate is too hot. That means we have to remove our hand from that plate. Okay, so in this way this is the result. Okay, when we remove our hand, this is the result. Okay, understood? So what we have learned in this video, we tried to understand the concept of microprocessor. Okay, simply in conclusion, you can state like that: Microprocessor is a programmable device. It is a clock driven device, register based device, and multi-purpose device. Okay, and how microprocessor works? Microprocessor receive information from input devices. Okay, it processes. How it processes? According to the information or according to the instruction that we have to instruct the microprocessor. Understood? We have to instruct the microprocessor to perform certain tasks. Suppose I want to add two number. Okay, I want that microprocessor has to add two numbers. So accordingly, I have to instruct the microprocessor. Okay, add two numbers. Okay, so what microprocessor does? It receives two number from input devices. It adds. Okay, because I have given instruction. Okay, and output is in the form of a single number, which is the result of addition of two numbers. Okay, understood? Okay, so thank you.